What up, good people? Welcome back. It is Monday morning, March 31st, 2025. What it do? Where is... I heard my phone chime. Y'all hold tight. Hit that like too. All right. We're back. Again, welcome back. Monday morning. Man, I used to dance so much in Germany. And I'm not bragging. I was young. I was 19, 20 years old. When I first got there, I was 19 when I first got there. I stayed in Germany. I was in the army for 3 years, but I was in Germany for about 2 years, I think. Yeah, about 2 years. 2 years, because I went to Bosnia for 9 months. And then I had, basic training AIT. I'm talking Army. But when I was there in Germany, every weekend, Lord have mercy, man, I had some fun. I had my fun. I encourage young people. If you are in your early 20s, late teens, hell, mid 20s, have your fun. You're only going to be young once. Now, you may still feel young later on. I still feel young. I'm almost 50. I still feel young. But you're only going to be young once. So have your fun. Have your fun, man. Have your fun. If you're a fun person, if you're a type of person who don't like going out and having fun, drinking until you throw up, don't even get into none of that. But still, whatever your fun is, if it's gaming, if it's playing video games, if it's, whatever it is, have your fun now. Okay, so this is Bajillion 134. I think last time I misspoke on the last one. I said it was Bajillion 132 at the end of that video, but it was 133. This is 134. And without further ado, with my oldest son's beats playing in the background, if you're interested in his beats, go to his email. You can find that in the description box. I think it's Shaggy's Tracks, I think it is, at Gmail. Anyways, let's pick it up right here in the green. What once gave her enough vigor to function now made her lethargic, too sleepy and worn out to function during the day. I said function twice. Let's get it started. It's kind of redundant. Two. Okay, function. Vigor, let's see. Meaning. Her enough vigor to function to work, to perform, enough vigor to perform, to perform. Yeah, let's say perform. Yeah, I love the thesaurus. I am not a man of many words. But I do know the meaning of words in terms of writing. You know what I mean? I know how to use words when writing, but when, like, off the top of my head, I'm not going to beat you in a debate. Well, I can beat the average person maybe in a debate. But, like, if I have to debate someone who's a real debater, nah, I can't do that. I may not even beat the average person in the debate. I'm just telling you, when it comes to writing, the thesaurus, I can't even pronounce the word right now. The thesaurus is my best friend. All right. What once gave her enough vigor to perform now made her lethargic. Goodness gracious. Now made her lethargic, too sleepy and worn out to function during the day. Shug would oftentimes, man, I'm seeing words that it's oftentimes, I don't think it's a one word. No, it's not one word. It is one word. Oftentimes is one word. Oh my God. Yes, look at that. Shug would oftentimes awaken to find his mother wandering aimlessly throughout the house at night. One prescription had to be countered by another. The new prescription had to be countered by some other experimental prescription. Soon, Shug found himself going back and forth, trying to keep up with the latest cure for what was thought to be severe depression. Okay, so I'm having this scene that keeps playing in my head. Suge just turned 88 years old. His mom, Martha Louise, I don't even know her age, but she got to be in her hundreds if her son is 88 years old. She got to be at least 100 and let's say, okay, so 88, if she's 108, that makes her 20 years older than Suge. All right. I don't even want to put an age on her, but she's in her hundreds. Maybe she had him when she was 15. So instead of 108, she's about 113, right? I mean, 103, right? Yeah, 103, right? 103 is more realistic than 108, but still, 100 is that's a stretch. So we're not gonna put an age on her, but the scene that I keep having in my head is her now that I reestablished that she's having some issues and she's on medication. Maybe when Henry and I almost said Travis, Jacob goes to visit her, maybe she yells back to some location in the house. Something. She yells something and she says, Daddy, I'll be there in a minute now. I told you I'll be there in a minute. So, Daddy, in other words, her father, Suge's grandfather, which would make him, let's say, 125, 130 years old. Okay? Or maybe her granddaddy she's talking to him. And maybe this is something that nobody really talks about because it's kind of embarrassing. Maybe not embarrassing, but maybe they don't want to admit that she's lost her mind and all these different things. But maybe later on in the scene, this person that she has spoken to a few times comes to save the day. An actual person. I want this story to be one of those Stephen King joints. Go ahead and bookmark that. All right. Though he was there at the party having a moderate good time, his thoughts were on her and now a troubled son who'd come back in town for the worst of reasons. There was also his daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law should be... There was also his daughter-in-law, a woman who never saw her life turning out the way it did. Left with 2 children. She could not have seen the spinning meteor of verbal and sometimes physical abuse coming from a man she still adored. Should I say physical? I'm not going to say physical. I don't want him to be that type because you can't, once you cross that line, you can't go back. You know what I mean? And if somehow later on Frederick does a good thing, that physical part, physical abuse, sometimes that is something that the reader can't get past. You know what I mean? So it won't be physical. Verbal sometimes is subjective. Sometimes, not all the times. Sometimes there's a line that is drawn with verbal abuse. But if they're in a heated argument and she says something mean to him and he retaliates by saying something meaner to her, you know what I mean? Like that's real talk. That happens in real relationships. The man says something to the woman and the woman comes back and says something, way out left field, way below the belt. But, both are wrong. But anyways, that could be rectified later on. That could be, later on they can apologize. But once you give a woman a black eye or you put your hands on a woman in any kind of way, the reader can't come back from that. most readers. Left with 2 children, she could not have seen the spinning meteor of verbal abuse coming from a man she still adored. Left with 2 children, she could not have seen the spinning meteor of verbal abuse that came from a man she adored. I won't go into detail because I don't know. I was going to give some examples of his verbal abuse, but now, what no one knew that night is that things were about to take a turn for the very worst. No one but the spirit thing. The one now there at the picnic table, invisible to the naked eye, but so present and patiently sitting by Jacob's side. Yes, Jacob. It's partner in crime. Yes, Jacob, it was there by the boy. It was there next to him. The boy it had to protect, Jacob, the boy who possessed the ability to transcend time and space. Okay, no. We're not going to go that deep. And though the focus wasn't always on the boy, it was always on the him. Huh? Sometimes you just gotta delete stuff, man. Alright, being there by his side, you get the feeling the boy is up to no good. Alright, so I'm gonna have to discard this right now. We're gonna have to go back in here and really put our foot in this thing right now. Alright. Let's go back here. I know I just cut in here, but I gotta write this. I'll move it somewhere else later, but I gotta write this now, um, because it's fresh in my mind. What's the last name? The religious people. The Walters. What's the name? The Albertsons. The Albertsons. What's his name? Juvenile. Siri, find Juvenile. Back that thing up. Put my glasses on. I can't see what I'm doing here. I can't do what I'm doing here. I hope y'all having a wonderful time. Okay, no, I'm good. Make sure I'm seeing what I'm playing. All right. I hope y'all having a good time out there. As the music and lights continued, he saw that the most religious two at the party, Mr. and Mrs. Albertson, were dancing to juveniles. Make sure you spell. Man, I gotta. What's her name now? fix this later. Okay. All right. What else weird can happen here? What else can happen here? All right, I did not read over. That was freestyle. So anybody out there trying to read what I just wrote, forget about it. I'm gonna go over that about 10,000 more times before it's all said and done. Right now, I'm just getting a little bit out while it's fresh in my brain. Okay. What else weird that can go on at this party? As Juvenile back that thing up is playing. Excuse me. All right, aside to those two having the time in their lives. Can't even concentrate. I gotta give one more example of somebody doing something crazy at this party. Oh, wait a minute. I thought Lupe's wife was pregnant. Wait a minute. I hope she's not pregnant. If it is, I just have to get rid of that part because she can't be taking any kind of, you know. Okay, now I'm mixing up my trying to figure out the substance. What's his wife's name? Maria? Damn, I think it's Maria. All right, great idea, he said before pulling Maria on the dance floor. All right, so I got to do this real quick, y'all. I got to do this real quick. Hold on, hold tight. Let me go down here. Y'all can't see what I'm doing, but y'all hold tight. We're gonna pause this for 1 second. Oh crap! Hold on, y'all hold tight. I'll be right back.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000s. Girl, you know you go back, yeah. This back, yeah. Make your road spin this cash, yeah. This last, yeah. Girls proud with the past, yeah. They mad, yeah. You can ride in the jag, yeah. With that, yeah. You can smoke a fire bag, yeah. A crash, yeah. Got the money like a flash, yeah. And trash, yeah. I'm a bitch, I'm a player, yeah. Gun spray, yeah. A clear hit, a flipper, yeah. Red Billy, yeah. Look how this nigga wood, yeah. I'm out the hood, yeah. Let it be understood, yeah. It's all good, yeah. Gotta get singing loud, yeah. On the hard, yeah. You was cool in blood, yeah. I want to draw, yeah. Hope you can do a trick, yeah. On the stick, yeah. You claim you want a bitch, yeah. That ain't it, yeah. I'm the daddy with the money, yeah. Don't make funny, yeah. Got birds and the money, yeah. About 100, yeah. Girl, you look good.
Let's back that thing up. Let's back that thing up. I had to do it, y'all. I had to do it. Back that thing up. Back that thing up. Back that thing up. Yeah, I had to do it, y'all. I had to do it. Hold tight. Oh, wait a minute. Let me put my music back on. Hold on. Y'all hold tight. This is not working. All right. So, I'm going to write I think I was in the process of writing something here. Hold on. I had to do that. All right, we'll leave it right here. It's been 36 minutes, y'all. We'll leave it right here. We're gonna pick it back up and right here in the green. We'll pick it right here up in the green, and we'll keep adding to this. But all of this may have to move. It may have to move somewhere else. But for right now, I had to pick the party back up. I had to pick it back up. Anyways, till next time, salute. This is Anthony L. Kelly. I'm out.